Hello there and welcome to the Mobile Academy. And if you want to become a job ready Flutter developer, make sure to check out the courses on my website mobileacademy.io. Here you will find all of the courses related to the Flutter development. You will find the professional course as well as the basic course related to the Flutter. You can also find some of the free courses over here if you want to just go and try it out, or if you are just a beginner on the Flutter and then the React Native, you can also find the free course over here. And if you would like to be a full stack developer, we also have the course related to the full stack developer, related to the Node.js, Express, MongoDB, as well as the Flutter over here. And if you would like to join the Flutter bootcamp, there is also a bootcamp course over here. So make sure to go and check out the course over here. There are free and then the paid course. And if you want to be a job ready Flutter developer, this is the course that you want to take. So see you guys on the next lesson. Till then, have a great day.
Okay, so let us start here. And first thing, I would like you to introduce yourself.
Okay. So, hi Richard, myself Kushal Chaturvedi, and I had 5+ years of experience in Flutter, and in this period I had made several apps which are live on iOS and Android as well. So from the starting that I had made the navigation app and also the chat application app, tour booking app is also there, and also the trading app is also there. So my last app is of trading app, in which just I had also lead the team, and in which that I had reviewed the code, and I had just put all the features, and I had just deployed the code accordingly. So yeah, I can junior I can mentor the juniors, and also just I can help all the other things, and I can just work as a main role in the project. Yeah.
Cool. So you have built a lot of the apps, and the current one that you previously built was the trading app, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, 1 minute. Let me off the sound for my phone. Okay, so in the trading app, what kind of the like architecture basically you used for that particular application?
So from the starting, just I am using the clean architecture, and in that, and I had used just like that Melos. Also, I had used the isolates. I had also used the method channels, and just the architecture is so clean, and in which just we have to we we can make it as a we can make it as a robust and easy to use.
Cool. For the API connection, did you use the Stream or GraphQL or the REST API?
So for the REST APIs, just I had used a DIO, and also I had used the retrofit, and for the WebSockets also I had used in the trading view, in which just socket.io was the plugin that I had used.
Cool. So basically means you mean you have used the REST API as well as the Socket API, right? WebSocket API.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Okay, that's good to know. Let us start with some of the basic question regarding the Flutter.
Okay.
So, can you explain me what is a Flutter?
Actually, Flutter is a cross platform tool. On that, we can just make the app and web projects, and also just we can deploy these applications on the iOS, Android, Mac OS, Linux, with a single code base. And actually, Flutter is also nowadays increasing its growth, because it is having some of the expressive UI, and also it is good to handle, and also it is trendy nowadays.
Cool. For the Flutter is a framework, right? But the programming language that it uses is a Dart.
Yeah.
So why you think the Flutter is using the Dart here?
Actually, Flutter is made by the Google, and also it is having the Dart as a language. It is also made by the Google as well. But it is just using, and it is good for the Flutter, because in which just it is having the C objective. It is having the all all the classes and all the structures accordingly. So just we can say it as it is having the structures formed as compared to the JavaScript. So that's why we are using it.
Okay, good. So let's talk about the widget in the Flutter. Can you explain what actually is the widget in the Flutter?
Yeah. So widget is a bunch of it is the bunch of components which is used to show the UI or the flow of the UI, in which just we are having the screens, we are having the app bars, we are having the different examples about.
Cool. So in Flutter, we find basically two kind of the we get stateless, and then we have the stateful.
Yeah.
Uh, can you explain me what's the difference between the stateless and then the stateful?
Yeah. So stateless and stateful widgets are like that, in which just those who can just adopt the changes and change the UI, and just reflect on the screen, and on which just it is having the life cycle. It is the stateful, and in just it is having the stateless widget, in which just it is not having any changes, so that it is just a UI to show. So yeah, this is a stateless.
Yeah. So stateful can have the life cycle, right? And we can have the state there, right? We can maintain the state, and in the stateless, it doesn't have any life cycle, and
Yeah.
we cannot maintain the state there. Cool. What about the build context, sir? What do you think is a build context?
Build context is just allocate the allocation of the widget in the widget tree, where it has to work, where it has to do is allocations.
Cool. Just now we talked about the stateful widget, and in the stateful widget we have the init method. So what is the use case of having a init method?
So init method is just work like that, in which just we are having the life cycle, in which just init method is the second method, so that in which we can just ensure, and we can just put some of the functionalities before starting of the screen. Just we can initiate some of the functionalities according to it. So this is the main use case just we can use according to it.
Yeah, cool. So in this method is the method where we can initialize, right? Before the
Yeah.
Flutter renders its first frame, we can call the init method to initialize.
Yeah.
Cool. What about the dispose method? We also have a dispose method, right?
Yeah. So dispose method is just like that. If we want to just stop the life cycle to avoid the memory leakage. So just we have to use the dispose method, so that it was not just override on the other one, and just it will just not harm the streams of the APIs, or just other functionalities accordingly.
Cool. So when you think the dispose method is called?
Actually, dispose method is called to just having the life cycle to stop it. Actually, if we do not stop it, we are having the issues like the we are having the issues like the memory leakage in it.
Cool. So let's say we have a two screen app, first screen A and then the screen B. So let's say you have the one button in the screen A to navigate to the screen B. And once you click on the let's say the button to navigate to the screen B, so when the screen B loads into your app screen, at the first it's called the init method, right? So when you press the back button, right, we have the back arrow button. So once you press that particular button, which method do you think it's called?
Okay, so if we just put the back button, it will just go into the stack. Okay, and it will just follow the stack and go to the first one, and according to it, it will just having build method is called according to it.
So the first the once you navigate to the screen B, we have the init method call, right? And then once you press the back button, the dispose method is called. Okay, so
Okay,
the dispose method is get called once the screen is out of the view.
okay.
Cool. So we talk about the build context, and also let's talk about the set state in the stateful widget.
Yeah.
So why we at what condition do we use the set state method, or the function that we call?
So set state is used to just update the state of a whole screen, or to just update the reaction which was being given by the user. So yeah, according to that, we can just maintain the state or to just update the state from the build. It is used.
So do you know like how does this actually work? Like once you call the set state method, what happens in the background? Do you actually know about it?
Yeah. So when we call this set state, it will just initiate whole life cycle from the starting, and it will just rebuild all the life cycle according to it from the init and data dependency, and also it is having the build, and after that what we are having the response change, it will just change it.
Okay, cool. So do you know about the okay, so I think that's fine. Let's talk about the keys in the Flutter. So if you use a widget in the Flutter, every place you will see there is a key. So what is the use of the key that we put in the any widget?
Actually, key are used as an identifier of the widget, so that we can just identify, and also it will just help the compiler to to call each and every of the uh, widget separately, so that we can use it, and we are having the global keys, we are having the local keys, we are having the value keys. So according to it, we can use it.
Cool. So you mentioned the global key. So in the Flutter, when we make use of the form, right? When we make use of the form, we get so we have the option to add in the key, and there we usually use the global key. So why we cannot use the value key over there?
Okay. So according to it, just we are having the form in which just we have to just ensure that from the one widget we have to just take the response and call it into the another widget. So we have to just we have the requirement that we are we can have the key which is global, so that we can call from anywhere else. So yeah, that's why we are using it.
Okay, cool. Also in the form, if you mention if you take a note there in the form, we need to access the form state, like the validation of the form, right? We need to access the state. What is the current state of that particular form? So the form state can be only accessed using the global key, right? If you
Yeah,
use the
yes,
key like the normal key or the value key, there is no
yeah, it
option to access
completely,
the other
yes,
state. Cool.
yes.
Let's talk about the inherited widget. Have you ever used the inherited widget?
Yeah, I had used the inherited widget in that also. Just we are extending all the methods from the one widget or from the another class, so that we can use it accordingly.
So what is the use case of having the inherited widget? Why we use that one?
Yeah. So actually, it is used in the state management. According to that, we are having the river pod. We are having also the provider. In that also, we are just inherited widget is used. According to that, we are having the separate class of the state management on that basis, so that we can use the functionalities, we can having some of the functions which are on the controller side, so that we can use it through it. So yeah, so according to the screens, we are just inheriting the controller of it, and just we are having all the functionalities to override. Or in inheritance is just used for the loose coupling of of from the parent class to subclass.
Okay. Um, so for the inherited wicket, we make use once we want to access the state of the value of the parent wicket,
Yes,
right? So you may have a lot of the wicket tree, and your the child wicket may be 10 level down. So accessing it from the parent basically is quite complex if you are just using if you are just passing in the value from the parent to the child, right?
yes,
Using the inherited widget, it makes much more easier to access this particular value from the parent to the how many level deep of the child you go. That's cool.
yes.
Let's talk about the list view. Every application has the list, right? Has the list.
Yeah.
So what is the difference between the normal list view, and we also have the list view builder, right? So when we use a list view and when we use the list view builder.
Actually, when we are having the uh, most of the different widgets, so that we can use the list view. In that, we just want the scroll of the list, so that we are having the different widgets, like that. We are having the containers, we are having the all the things like uh, all 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 the different uh, things in it. But in a list view builder, we are having the tiles in it, so that we can have the list of the particular widget, and it will just repeat according to the index. So according to the use case, we can use both uh, a list view, builder, and also the list view.
Okay, cool. In terms of the performance, it's recommended to use the list view builder. Do you know why it is recommended to use the list view builder instead of using the normal list view?
According to the performance, just like that, in which we are having the build context over there. Okay, so just it will allocate on the widget tree, and it will just enhance the performance of it.
Okay, cool. So the list view basically is like once you load the list view, if you're using just a normal list view, um, it will load the every item that you put it inside that particular list view. But in the builder, if you use the list view that builder, the gain that we get from that is it only loads the widget that you see in the screen, right? So if you have the scrollable widget there, and if it has the 100 items there, it doesn't load the all of the items at once. So it only loads the item that is visible in the screen, and it lazily loads the item that we see in the screen. So that is the gain or the performance improvement that we get from the list view. Okay,
So
that's cool. Let's talk about the state management now. So what there are different kind of the solution, right? So what solution or the which package do you use for the state management?
I had just used various state managements, but yeah, according to the use case and according to the client requirement, I have to use the state managements like that. If the app is so much complex, like a trading one, like it is having the streams and like it is very having the complex structure, so that I have to use the block, and it is just easy one, so that if we can also use the river pod, we can also use the qubit as well. So yeah, these are the options that we can use right now.
Okay, cool. So in the Flutter, you have used the Flutter block package, right?
Yeah.
So we have the qubit and then the block. So what is the difference between these two, qubit and then the block?
Yeah. So basically, block is the main state management which was being made for the Flutter from the starting, right? And on that, but it is very much complex, and it is so much lengthy, right? So to avoid that and to use for the smaller apps, qubit was launched. So in the qubit, boilerplate is small, okay, and also in that we are not having the event class was not there, and also the block class was not there, and it was being just combined by the qubit. Okay, so on that we are having only the state and the qubit, and we can just emit the state, and just we can emit the functions on the qubit side as well.
Cool. So what does the event class actually do in the block?
Event class in the block is just having the separate events or a separate use case of the block. It will just handle, for an example, just we are having the CRUD operations, so that we are having the uh, get, update, delete, so that these are the separate events, so that we can just handle it by the block, and just we can show it on the event side, and we can just apply on the block.
Cool. Okay, so in Flutter, what is the use case of the custom painter? Custom painter.
Okay. So custom painter is just like that. There are so much of designs that we cannot use. We cannot use, or we cannot just integrate. So we have to make it accordingly. Yeah. So for the for the custom designs of the UI, we have to just make the custom paint, and this widget was very helpful to achieve that.
Okay, well, um, what about the like the render object? Have you ever used the render object?
Uh, Not right now, but I had heard about it. Like render object is having some of the classes like that. According to it, when the functions will go through it, and it will just stream by stream API go through one side to another side. So just render object comes to the functions.
Okay. Do you know like how Flutter actually renders the widget or the any UI that you see on the screen? Do you know like how actually Flutter renders that to the screen?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it is having the Flutter architecture according to it, in which just it is having from the base class, it is having the C and C objective classes, which was being just working in the base class. And as then we are having the compilers of the Flutter, and the Flutter input output was there. And at the end, and just we are having the material library, and also the Cupertino library was there. And after that, just it was being used, and according to it, it will just generate the UI to the screen.
Okay. Do you know in Flutter we have a three widget tree? Have you ever heard about the three kind of the tree that we have in Flutter?
No idea about.
We have the widget tree, element tree, and then the render object tree. Have you ever heard about these
Okay.
three?
No, no, no. I had heard about the widget tree only. I have to study about the widget element tree, and also the render tree.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So render tree is the one that renders the um, the the widget that we create, right? Or the UI that we create using the Flutter framework that is passed through the render object at the end. The render object is the one that renders it to the screen, like it passes that one to the graphical interface that we see in the screen. And that's cool. So we have the three main tree in the Flutter. That is how actually the Flutter is rendering the widget in our UI. Okay, let's move on. I guess we already spent around 30 minutes here. Okay, so let's talk about the memory leaker. What each a memory leak and how does it actually happen?
Actually, memory leak happens when we don't just maintaining the flow of the life cycle, whether it is from the state management, or whether it is from the stateful visits. If we maintain it as well, so we can just avoid this type of things.
So, according to you, what are the best practice that you use to like prevent the memory leak in your application?
So to avoid the memory leak, actually, we have to make a separate controllers for each and every of the screens, or each and every of the functionalities. If it is big, Okay, and after that we have to just uh, maintain the uh, memory of the image, memory of the DBs as well. So 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 that it will not be override. Okay, and after that we have to just m- maintain the test cases according to the Mockito, and according to the we have to mock each and every of the things are just like that, and we have to test it before we are just rolling it out. So yeah, according to it, we can just use.
Okay. What about the garbage collector? What actually is the garbage collector?
Actually, the garbage collector is having the thing that it will just uh, some of the leakage, which is just a minor leakage. It will just already been collected by the Flutter. It is having the functionalities, and it is automatically just collecting the all the stuff which was being there.
So in Flutter and Dart, when do you think the garbage collector is run?
When we are just having the run app, when we are just starting the run app, it will just initiate it, and when we are just having the out of it, when we are just came out of the app, it will goes off.
Okay. What about the compiler? Do you know what is a
Okay.
compiler?
Yeah. So compiler is just like that, in which we are having the machine controlling, like a machinery system, in which just it has to compile all all the code of us into the binary one, so that it will just compiling accordingly, and it will just showing it on the UI.
Okay. It's basically compiling the high level language that we use to the machine level code, right? Or the binary
Yeah.
format. So in the Flutter and the Dart, which compiler do it does it use in the by the Dart? Do you know?
Okay. Right now I am just not remembering it, but I had idea about it, but right now I'm not able to remind it.
Okay. Have you ever heard about the JIT compiler and then the AOT compiler?
Yeah, 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 yeah. These are the two compilers just we are using. Just JIT is the just in time, and also AOT is ahead of time. So these are the compilers we can use. We are using it.
Okay. So once we build our application in the debug version or the debug build, which compiler does the Dart use? Do you know which compiler does it use in the JIT or the AOT compiler?
I think so. When we are just using in the debug mode, we are having the JIT compiler. We are just using it. Uh, yeah.
Okay, so why you think we use the or the Dart use the GIT for the debug build?
Actually, for the debug, uh, we are having our environment, right? So that it has to show the reloads, and it has to show the changes. what we will do. Okay, so it when it will do the ahead of time, it will be not being easy to match up with uh, our pace, or what what we are implementing. So just it has to reflect that what we have done. So yeah.
Okay, so JIT is used for to enable feature like the hot reload, hot restart, right? So it can fasten the our development time, right? Just not by compiling the whole code, just by compiling the what has changed. And in the production or in the release build of our application, um, the AOT, the ahead of time compiler is used,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So what about the Dart VM? Dart, do you know what is the Dart VM?
Dart VM, yeah, I had also heard about it, but right now I am not having idea. That
Okay,
also a good topic. Yeah.
okay, cool. um okay, let's move to the some part of the Dart programming. In the once we one when we create the variable in the Dart, we use the let keyword, right? So what does the let keyword actually mean?
uh, Let keyword.
Yeah.
Yeah, so i i I did not use let keyword in the Dart. I had I have no idea about it, but I had used any, I had used string and all the var, but let I had not used.
Okay. What about the class? What is a class?
Yeah, please repeat.
What is a class?
I didn't got.
CLASS class, right?
What is class?
Yeah.
Yeah. So class is like that. We are having different of the different. It is the bunch of the methods or the objects. What we can say it as a class. Okay, in which just we can call from one class to another class, from different of the classes, like that. So yeah.
Okay, it's just a blueprint, right, of your
Yeah.
structure. Okay. We have the abstract class and we have the interface, right? We have the abstract class and then we have the interface. So what is the difference, or what is the use case of using the abstract class and using the interface?
Actually, abstract and interface is having the minor differences, like that. Abstract is being for used as a as as the contract class, as the promise class. Okay, so that we can just extend it, but we cannot modify it. Okay, but interface is being used as the it is having the concrete implementation of the methods are there. So that if we are using the interface, so that we have to be ready that we have to use each and every of the methods which being used in the interface as well.
Okay, so interface, if we use the interface, like if we create the interface, we can extend, we can implement it, and for the abstraction we can extend the functionality, right? Okay, so there is a inheritance, right, once we use the abstract. Okay, and if we want to create the do you know how we can create the pure interface in Dart?
uh, which means pure interface,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so interface is not the keyword in the Flutter. It was not been introduced, so we have to just use it class. as the interface, and we have to just uh, allow all the methods according to it, and we have to use it as an interface.
Have you ever used the abstract interface in Dart?
Yeah, abstract interface. I had used it, but in that also, just like that. For an example, we are having the events. Okay, so according to it, we are using the abstract class of the events. We are using the abstract class of the abstract class of the events, and also the main class or the static class of the states and also of the block. So according to it, we are having the promise class of the events in it.
Okay. Do you know what is a final class in the Dart? Have you ever created a final class?
Yeah, final class is just like a immutable class, or just we can we and it will just initiate it on the runtime, and after that we can use it as the various implementation according to the use case.
Do you know what is the use case of having the final class?
Use case of the final class, I didn't got any of the chances right now, but I will just explore what are the use cases according. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Um, so what are the four different pillars in the object-oriented programming? Do you know what are the four pillars that we use?
Yeah. So for these are the pillars like a polymorphism, sorry, polymorphism, abstraction, and inheritance, and also also the encapsulation.
Okay. Can you give me some example of the abstraction?
Yeah. So in the abstraction, as same, just we are just talking about it. Will just having the things. We are just having the things according to it. Like, wait for a sec. Can I drink some water?
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so from the starting, we are just talking about the abstraction in the abstract class also. So abstraction is just like that. It will just make the auxiliary functionality or the auxiliary things of the class, or the or the superclass. It will just open to extent, but not for the modification as well. So yeah, this is about the abstraction.
Okay. Cool. So hiding the implementation, right?
Yes, yes,
So if you create a class or if you create a library, you allow to access the function, but the user doesn't need to know what is the implementation of that particular function, right? Or the method.
yeah.
What about the encapsulation?
Encapsulation is just like that. We are having some of the data, but we have to just having a mask on that, and also we cannot make changes on it. We are just maintaining it. We are just maintaining the response on it, but we cannot change it.
Okay, so that basically means it's the public private
Yeah,
functionality, right? Public private.
yeah.
Okay, cool. What about the inheritance?
Inheritance is just like that. From the parent class. We have to just take all the properties, or just like that, into the child class, it is called the inheritance.
Yeah. Cool. Accessing the properties and the functionality of the parent class in the child class, right? Cool. What about the polymorphism?
Polymorphism is just like that. It is also same as the inheritance, but it is just inheriting from the different of the classes at the same time, so that it gives the definition of the polymorphism.
Okay. um can you explain me about the solid principle?
Yeah, sure. Solid principle starts from the S for the single responsibility, O for the open close,
Mm.
L for the Liskov substitution, I for the interface, and D for the dependency inversion. Single responsibilities having the properties like that, we do not have to repeat the code. Okay, so we have to use the reusability as possible as we can, and also for the open close, just like that, we when we are having when we are having some of the functionalities are there, so it should be open for the modification, but open for the open for the extension, but closed for the modification as well. Okay, and after that, Liskov substitution is just like that. If we are having the if we are having the parent class in which just we are having the parent of we are having the parameter of A and B as well. Okay, and if we take the if we take the parameter of C and D also, it in it, so it should accept the uh, uh, it should accept the wideness of the parameters of it. So this is about the Lispo, and also about the interfaces. Interfaces is just like that, in which in which just it is having the auxiliary classes, in which just it is having the uh, concrete implementations, where we have to make each and every of the things by interfaces only. As much as we can make interfaces in the UI, it it will be it will be good. Okay, and after that dependency inversion, which is that we have to just implement like that, from the subclass to superclass. We cannot move, but from the superclass to subclass, we can flow the project accordingly. So these are the principles of the solid principles.
Okay, so if I ask you to like implement a single responsibility for a class, so how would you proceed?
So for to make the single responsibility, according to it, just we have to make the common widgets. Okay, for the just like that, we have to make the text fields like that, which is app bars, and also just like that, we have to make the custom buttons. Okay, so, and we have to use it accordingly, as when they are required, so that we are just reusing the code which was been made only one time.
Okay, so if I give you a class, let's say a class A, and it has the functionality to like print the invoice, and it also has the functionality to calculate the tax, and it also has the functionality to store the invoice detail to the database. And all this functionality is in the class A, and I ask you to go and implement the single responsibility principle here. So how would you proceed?
Okay. So for that, just we are having a class in which just these of the these are the methods we are having, right? So for the implementations, we can just make the abstract class according to it, and we are just separating by each of the methods, like of the print as a separate, calculation as a separate. So it will just segregate each and everything, and after that we can use it. So when we are using each and every of the functionalities by one time, so we can use it, and it will just maintain the single responsibility from the parent class.
So you mean will you create a separate class for invoice, tax, and the storing for the database access?
Yeah,
Or
yeah. So I will make the abstract class in which just like that in the abstract class I will just extend all the properties, and after that what I have to use, I can use that.
okay. What about the dependency inversion? How would
Depend.
you implement it?
Okay.
Like, let's say
So
if you are using a Flutter application and you have a repository class, you need to access the database as well as the API call. And if I ask you to, like, say implement a dependency inversion principle here, so how would you implement it?
okay. So in my project, I had used the login functionality was there, and after in that I had used the authenticate, right? So I had made the abstract class of the authenticate, in which just authentication was of of the different types, like from the email, from the OAuth, right? So I had made the abstract class according to it. Authenticate dot OAuth, I can use it. Authenticate dot email, I can use it. Okay, but I will not just having to go through o OAuth can just implement or or can work on the authenticate as well, so that all the things are going on in the authenticate functionalities, like that all the keys and the values and the passwords were there, but the options what the user can get from the OAuth was there and the email was there. So the dependency inversion from the superclass to subclass, it can flow, but not from the subclass to superclass. It it cannot flow. So yeah, this is an example.
So which means you created a class A and extended it from the class B.
Yeah.
So the class B is abstract class, or it is the what kind of the class? You create an interface, or you created a abstract class?
Yeah, so I will take it normally as an abstract class, because just for the Flutter side, or for the any app, I want to use the loose coupling, in which just I have to use the method overriding, so that it will be easy for us. So yeah, I will use the abstract class.
Okay. Go. What about the dependency injection? Can you explain me what is the dependency injection?
Yeah. So dependency injection is just like that. We are having the plugins like the Get It also. We are using it, and I had used in my last project, and also right now in my project also I am using it. It is been called for to get the instance. According to it was having it was having the dot singleton. It was having the injectable. It was having the lazy but singleton. So it is being used to handle the API's response or the time according to it when we have to call it. Okay, and after that it 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 will just respond. It will just handle the response and the errors and the messages so nicely that what we cannot do manually.
Do you know what is the construction injection?
uh, Construction injection.
Yeah, constructor injection. Like how you inject it to the constructor. Like let's say
No idea about it.
class A, class B depend on the class A, right? If you want to put, yeah, inject it through the constructor. Have you ever used constructor injection?
No idea.
Okay, cool. So I think basically you are using the service locator, not the dependency injection, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I think you are using the service locator.
Actually, from in my project, I am just using the service locator, and according to it on the controller side, I had just used at the rate of the singleton or the lazy singleton at what we can put according to get the response from the controller side. So yeah, this was I was doing.
So what you mentioned that you are using the singleton and then the lazy singleton. What actually is a singleton pattern?
Singleton pattern is just like that. It was not been dependent of the any of the any of the other functionalities like that. And after that, it will just take the response when we start the app, and it will just maintaining it when we just shut downing it. So it is the singleton, and it will just start when we just do the run app accordingly.
So what will happen? What is the pros of using the singleton pattern, and also what are the cons of using it?
Okay, so singleton we can use for the emails and the IDs, and to just store the uh, keys of the users, to maintain it, and just cons are there. It will not just it will not update it in between, and as well as yeah, according to me, this is the cons.
So when should you create a class as a singleton?
Yeah, so when just I am I want to get the instance like that. If we want the previous instance of the app of the user, I want to store it. And if the app was closed, also the instance was there, so it 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 can having the it will be having the functionalities like that. It can use it. It will be it it will just use the instance of the previous one if just a new one was not being there.
So what will happen if you overuse, or if you create like the lot of the singleton instance?
If I make the lot of the singleton classes or just like that, so it will be just put the load on the on the state management side, and also on the RAM side, and after that it it will just jumbled all all the performance of the app. So if we want to change the response in every of the build or every of the response, so we have to use the injectable. So according to it, when we inject, so according to the injection, it will just update it, and if it is not, then we have to use a singleton.
Okay, understand. um so what about um so for the, let's go to the CI/CD. So what are the different ways that you use? What kind of the services or you're using for the CI/CD?
So for this CI/CD, I had used the code magic, and yeah, I had worked on also on the GitHub actions also. So yeah, according to it, these are the functionalities I had worked on.
So in Code Magic, you are using a workflow, or you are using the YAML file?
According to right now, I am not using it, but when I had used it, so I had used it from the YAML file, and just I had write the script over there, and after that, when the build was done, then it will be just initiated automatically.
Okay. So do you know about the semantic versioning of the application?
Semantic versioning, not right now.
Okay. So how do you version your application?
Okay. Uh, so uh, for the versionings like that, if we are having the from the from I had used the versions like that uh, from the YAML. We are having the versions like that. Okay, and after that, we are having on the iOS side, we are also having an option of the version, so that we can just update from that side. And after that, I had also used the flavors. If we just talk about the different versions of the app with the same structures with the different apps.
So how do you actually name the version? 1.0.1, or how do you do the versioning?
Yeah, so for the versioning, I am just starting about the one dot o dot one, and it will goes up to the one up to nine, and then it will goes to two, and also yeah. So according to it, it will just increase.
Do you know, if you change the let's say one.o.o, and if you change the last o, do you know what does it actually mean?
Yeah, so it will be having just like that, that in the versioning, just we are having the one dot o plus one. So according to it, that plus one is having the different of the builds, that we are having the we are having the sub version or the sub builds according to that particular version, so that we can work on it.
Okay. Um, in Android and the iOS, have you worked with the flavors?
Yeah.
What actually is the flavor?
Flavors are actually right now I am using it in my schooling app, in which just we are having the same structure, and in that same structure we can use that structure only, and we can have the different of the apps like that. We are having the staff app, we are having the student app, we are having the parent app, marketing team app. So we are having the different of the versions on it, but we are having the same structure. Structure was same for it.
So how do you implement the flavor in Android?
Yeah. So to maintain the flavor in the Android and as well as iOS, I had implemented it on the uh, on the YAML side, and also I had used the Melos, in which just each and every of the functionalities, like it is having its own lib was there, and it is having own of the own of the YAML was there. So each and every layer is independent. So the thing is that, in which just we can have we can have each and every functionality is clear.
Do you know how the native side the flavor are implemented in the native side in the iOS and in the Android?
No idea about.
Okay, cool. Have you in iOS? Have you ever set up the code signing?
Yeah. Code signing, in terms of that, I had used the I had attached the SSL pinning was there on on that. I had worked on it, and after that I had worked on the Obfuscate also. But yeah, code signing was, I think so. I have to work.
Okay. So in the iOS, once we build the iOS, right? In the iOS, let's say you have the you mentioned you have the flavor. If you want to have a different version, like if you want to configure the Firebase project, different configure a different Firebase project for each of the flavor. Have you ever configured a different the let's say the Firebase the configuration in the iOS side? Have you configured separate Firebase project for each flavor in the iOS side?
Uh, Not right now, but I am just doing it right now for the Android one. So as of now, I had no idea about to how to do it for the iOS side.
Okay, cool. And in the let's say if you want to add some permission, like let's say accessing a storage permission in the let's say in the iOS app, So do you know how you can change the or add in the permission to the iOS?
To add the permission just like that, we can implement info plist was there, and which just we had to use the key and the strings, and there are different of the permissions that we can give, like the camera, like the storage, like each and everything. Yeah.
Okay. So what is the pod file in the iOS?
Pod file is just like that. It is just like the YAML file of the Flutter, in which we are having all the dependencies on it, and yeah, we can update it, and we can use it accordingly.
Okay. Let's go. Um, so in the for the security region of your application, how would you create a secure build of your application?
Yeah. So for that, I will first I will use the O Oh, bus ticket. I will just make it as a true, and after that I will just implement separate of the uh, 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 file was there, in which just all the symbols was being there, and just submitted on that side, and after that I will just push it, and also SSL pinning was also the good option. So just it will not allow the middleman attacks in between, and after that we can also use the encryption and also the decryption in it. Yeah. So
Okay, for the you just mentioned the code obfuscation. Do you use in the native like the native build, or you use the code obfuscation in the dot as well?
I am just using in the in 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 the Dart as well.
Dot code obfuscation, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever used on the native side obfuscate the code in the Android build?
No, no, not right.
Have you ever used the ProGuard or the R8 in the Android?
I had a knowledge of it, pro guard, and also these things, but for the industrial project, I had not get any chance to work on it.
Okay, so what does the code obfuscation actually do for us?
Code obfuscation is just like that. It will just uh, uh, objects the middleman or the hackers to just to do the reverse engineering, and it will just having the things like that. Yeah. So the reverse engineering is being not so easy if we do that.
Yeah. So there's prevention, right? Prevention of
Yeah.
the reverse engineering, but we can't
Yeah.
say that the it's 100% secure for the
Yeah.
reverse
Yeah.
engineering. In security,
Yes.
there is nothing 100%, right?
Yes.
Everything can be broken.
Yeah.
Nothing is absolutely secure. That's cool. You also mentioned about the SSL pinning.
Yeah.
What is the um, what is the benefit of using the pinning, SSL pinning?
SSL pinning is just like that, when we are just entering into the DB, or in the backend. So it will be just having the certificate what we are having in our app. We have to submit it. Okay, and if it is not there, so that we cannot go inside to the backend side, and at the starting of the app, it will just verify each and every time.
So what is the pros and the cons of the using the SSL pinning?
Pros are just like that. It will just just help us to prevent from the middleman attacks. It will just verify the user, what he is using is authenticate or it is a bot. And also just like that, the cons are like that, when we are having the slow network was there, and also the connection was weak. So it will sometimes do some uh, hectic hectic things like that. It will just not able to verify, or just like that things.
What happens the if the so in the security pinning, in the SSL pinning, you have the certificate stored in your local application as well as in the server, right? So how like let's say the how do you secure this particular certificate?
Okay, so for that, we are just having the encryption and decryption according to that certificate of it. Like that, if we are having the secret key according to op- open the certificate, or to verify it, so that we can use it in
So
in
where
that.
do you store this encryption key?
Encryption key, just like we can use when we start the app, we are just generating the JWT token, right? So according to that, each and every user having the separate serialization, what he or she is using according to the app, what he or she is having. If it is matching each and every of the time, so that it will okay and good to go. And if it is not that, we have to just refresh the token, then it will be log out, and just we have to log in again.
So you mean that you store the encryption key in your server or you store it in your application?
Encryption key is not being stored at the user's end, but it's being stored at the server's end. Okay, because if we store it as a user's end, so it also been risky.
So what happens if the certificate expires in your application? You are storing
Yeah,
the
so
certificate in your app, right?
yeah, so this is also the cons of the SSL pinning. So that if the certificate expires, then we have to update it, and then we have to just roll out, and after that, we have to just update the app.
Okay. Um, have you ever used any other tool like for security, like detecting the rooted device, jailbroken device, or have you ever used any kind of the security tool uh, for the Flutter itself or the Flutter app?
Uh, Not right now, but yeah, I will just want to explore it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, I think it's quite long already, and we almost spent around 1 hour 20 minutes already. So let us
Yeah.
stop here. I will.
Okay.
Okay.